Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen these images before, and in this video I am going to explain to you how I create these. All these images are originally drawn in my sketchbook with a Pentel brush pen. Later I scan them or take a picture and extract the line art digitally. In the first part of this video, I will go over all the steps that I take to clean up the line art on a scan. In the second part of the video, I will show you the process, which is exactly the same on a picture. The software that I am using is Autodesk Sketchbook, which you can download for free on their website. The first thing I do is opening the image in a new layer in Sketchbook, and for some reason I always make a duplicate right away. In case I mess up, I can always go back to the original layer and start over. For the purpose of this tutorial, I am going to name the layer so it's a little easier for you to follow. Once I have done that, I am going to make sure that the layer is in grayscale, and for this I am going to Image, Adjust, and click Grayscale. The second step is changing the contrast. For this I go back to Images, Adjust, Brightness and Contrast. The contrast will make sure that the darker areas become even darker and the lighter areas become lighter. If it's a good scan, chances are that the sketch you made with like the gray lines in here will turn white and you will have almost a perfect line art already. So if you are just going for a black and white image, you can stop at this point if you are happy with it. Unfortunately, I am not, because I want to color this image and therefore I need to extract the line art itself, meaning that all the white areas should be transparent. That way I can put this layer with the line art on top and color underneath. So just as a precaution, I am duplicating this layer again in case something goes wrong, and the layer on top will be the one that I will be extracting the line art from. So make sure that that one is selected, and I am using the selection tool and the magic wand in combination with the slider. The slider will select either more or less of a certain color. I will explain this a little later in the video. I am making sure that the layers below are not visible, and I am putting the background color to a blue. This is random. I like the color blue because it's very visible, and this will allow me to see what areas I have removed. So with the magic wand, I can now select the white areas and erase my selection. I repeat this step over and over until I have extracted everything that is white in the image. And an easy thing to do is use the Add Selection button that you can see. It's like the two squares that allows you to select multiple areas at the same time and erase them. So I am going to speed this up a little and talk to you a little more about the slider that I'm using for my selection setting. The slider settings for my magic wand are in this case 181. It's not a specific rule. I believe that if you put it all the way up, it will select all the white areas, including the gray, and it might even be a little too harsh for your line art, and it might select a part of your line art as well, depending on the quality of your image. On the other hand, if you put it too low, it might leave gray areas unselected. So that is why in the beginning of this tutorial I changed the contrast to like the best image I could get for creating a black and white image, because that makes this step a lot easier. Again, it is something you have to play around with. There are images that I use multiple settings depending on what areas I'm selecting and the quality of my picture. So you have to play around with it. That's all I can say. Another thing I want to warn you about is the fact that the eraser tool does not have a clean edge. It has more of a gradient, and if you are deleting or erasing in this case your selection, make sure that you erase it in one go. Here on the left side I erased only a part of my selection, and after that I had to use the magic wand on the right side, but the magic wand has trouble selecting the gradient part. So you're left with this gradient line, and you can only erase this manually afterwards. On the other hand, if there are areas that for some reason your selection tool does not work on, or that you want to change in your image, feel free to just manually erase things or clean things up. I usually clean up my image after I have done the darkening of the line art, because it's, clearer to see where it needs cleaning up. But if you like to do it in this step, then feel free to do that. So the last step is of course cleaning up your line art, and for this I am selecting a tool that can get 100% opacity and full coverage. So mostly I go for the pen tool or the marker large. The marker large allows you to cover a very big area in one go, which the pen tool doesn't. It's quite small even if you put the size to its max. So once I've selected that one, I will select the color in which I want my line art to be. In my case that's black, and I will enlarge my brush to the biggest setting I can get it, and I will make sure that the line art layer has the transparency locked, and then I can just move over it and turn it completely black. The canvas size that I am using for this one is 6500 pixels by 6500, and I experience some lag because I am recording my screen. If I don't do that, I usually don't experience lag, so it's definitely not Sketchbook Pro that is causing the lagging in this video. For the purpose of this tutorial, I also included the process for an image, because not everyone has access to a scanner, and I just want to show you that even with an image that isn't the greatest quality, you can still achieve clean line art. The only thing with a picture is that, first of all, the quality of my pictures on my phone are not that great. They're not as big as a scan either, so I enlarged it, meaning that even more quality gets lost. so the line art will not be as clean. Now, if I know that I am not going to create a colored version or a final piece of the image, then I will definitely take a picture to make it go faster, because otherwise I have to go through the scanning process, and I don't really want to do that every single time. And the process for this is the same. So again, I applied contrast, and now I am going to select the white areas and clean it up. You can see that here I am cleaning up some of the gray already. That's just a preference. You can do it after, but if you feel it's more easy to do it in this stage, then just go ahead and do that. Since I am applying the exact same steps as I did in the first part of this video, I'm just going to speed this up and I will get back to you at the end of the video. So we're almost near the end of this video. I hope you learned something, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I read them, I answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.